Hello, my name is Tindell, and I am going to be talking about the proper maintenance of a chainsaw. What we have here is we have a Stihl MS250. It's the middle of the line chainsaw from Stihl. It's a pretty good chainsaw, but that's not the point of this video. What I want to talk about is the maintenance. First off, you want to make sure you have the right gas oil mixture. This is a 2-cycle engine, so it takes 2 different types of oil. First off, it takes a 2-cycle oil like this. For Stihl, it has its own Stihl. It's a 50-to-1 gas oil mix. With it, you mix this with 1 gallon of gas, and boom, you're ready to go. All chainsaws don't take the same mixture, so make sure you look at your chainsaw or your owner's manual and make sure you have the right mix, because too much oil will cause it to smoke and will cause the carburetor to gum up and cause more maintenance or more money out of your pocket. Too less oil is even worse. It can cause the engine to run too lean, which can cause it to burn the engine up. It'll run too hot, so therefore you're just basically throwing away a chainsaw. So that goes over the oil gas mixture. So we'll put this to the side. The next step is to make sure the chain is maintained properly. A dull chain doesn't cut, so therefore you basically have to take a visual of the chain, make sure all the individual teeth are sharp. If the teeth aren't sharp enough to cut butter, then you probably either need a new chain, which you can buy at any department or any hardware store, or you can do what I do and sharpen the chain with a electronic chainsaw sharpener. It works really well, and you can usually sharpen 2 to 3 chains, or 2 to 3 times per chain. Once you make sure the chain is correct, you want to make sure that it is on the bar correct. It has enough leeway here. This here is about the perfect slack you want in the chain. If you have too much slack, you'll end up like a buddy of mine, a little bouncer friend of mine. He came up to this bar once and told him about the story. He wanted a job as a bouncer. And they said, "Well, you're kind of small, aren't you?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm tough." And he said, "What do you mean you're tough?" He said, "Well," he said, "one time," he said, "I had my chain too slacked on my chainsaw." He said, "I went to cut a tree and I cut my arm off right about here. The chain jumped off, cut my arm off." I said, "Man, that's got to hurt." He said, "Well, yeah, it hurts all right." He said, "But I'm one tough midget." He said, "One time," he said, "I sewed that arm all back by myself." I said, "Man, you're hired." He said, "All right." Get it? Okay, that's the end of that joke. But anyways, you want to make sure that chain has the right amount of slack in it. Too much slack, damage to your arm. Too less slack or too much tightness will cause the bar to burn up, and it will cost you more money, and it also can cause the chain to stretch, and you don't want that. Okay, we talked about the chain, we talked about the gas oil mix. Now let's talk about the bar and the bar oil reservoir. The bar itself is the component that holds the chain on. Basically, the bar has to have constant movement because it has that chain going around it all the time. It has a sprocket in the front, and with that sprocket, as you can see, it moves fairly easy. Now, if the chain is too tight, that will be too tight, and it'll burn up that sprocket, and it might burn up the machine, causing you to basically, again, roll away the chainsaw. The way you tighten a chain on the sprocket or on the bar is you loosen these 2 bolts here, and you take a regular screwdriver and you either tighten it or loosen it to wherever you need to be on the slack. Okay. Now, if you turn the chainsaw on its side, on this particular unit, this is where you put the oil gas mixture, what we talked about earlier, the first oil that you use. It's a 2-cycle that mixes with the gas. For the bar, you want to keep the bar lubricated, so therefore it has a bar reservoir right here that you use and I always use the Stihl with my Stihl product. For me, it just seems to work out better, and it's designed for this particular chainsaw. With other chainsaws, you might use their product. But anyways, you take this cap off, and you fill the oil to the proper level. You put the cap back on, and your chainsaw is ready to use. It's ready to cut the lumber. This particular chainsaw doesn't have a primer. It has a choke system. All you do is you push this down, you put it on choke, you start it. Once it starts up, it'll die because it's getting too much gas. You take it off choke and start it, and it'll start fire right up, and you're ready to go. I hope I covered all of the components. Let's see. We covered the oil gas mixture. The proper ratio for this one is a 50 to 1. Other units use a 40 to 1. There's 30 to 1 units. Make sure you read the owner's manual, or on the side of the gas cap, it will usually tell you what the oil or gas oil ratio is. Second thing, make sure the chain is in good condition. Make sure it's either new, close to new, or if you need to sharpen it or put a new chain on there. Third, make sure the bar is in good condition and the bar oil is full, so that the chain and the bar keep lubricated, so you don't have to waste money down the road on new chains or new pieces or new bars. With that, this instructional video is done. Thank you very much for your time, and come back to Tindell Small Engine Repair whenever you're ready.